makes it so good, you know? Left off on a...
Oh.
Yeah, and then it basically just became a slightly longer short film. I wouldn't call it, like, a complete movie, but you do get a large part of, like, what happens, basically. No, like, because it's left off so abruptly. Like, the whole goal initially is, like, this kid's trying to become, like, one of the greatest drummers of all time. And then the teacher is just pushing him to try to do it, basically, but they don't really, like, tell you that until the end and stuff. And then, like, it literally cuts off at, like, this, like, sick moment. Well, I don't know if... I don't even think it's a spoiler. The movie basically cuts off at, like, where the movie's, like, plot would pick up, is what I'm thinking. Well, but you don't know if it is. That's the whole thing. You have no idea. Well, not even so you don't know. So how do I mean, I can just tell you, but man, I don't know if you're gonna watch it. Like, he basically, the kid, well, do you care if I say? The kid basically gets the teacher fired from the school, and then he acts like he sees him in public randomly, acts like he doesn't know who he is, and he invites him to come play at a concert with, like, some of the best players in New York. They go and they play, and he basically tricked the kid by not giving him any of the actual music that they're playing, so he just looks like an idiot sitting there playing the drums because he has no idea what songs they're playing. It's songs he's never seen before. Basically, he just ends up walking off stage, coming back on stage, and basically just defying his teacher in the middle of, like, talking in front of this giant crowd, and just starts playing the drum like an absolute maniac. And then he seems very annoyed, and then he kind of just, like, gets into it, and then he's just like, he seems like he's kind of chilling with him, and then after, like, the whole song's done, it just cuts off. And you have no idea if he's actually happy with it, if he's not happy with it, like, you have no idea what happens, really. So it's very, like, abrupt cutoff. You assume, just by the expressions and stuff, that it's, like, he's happy with the fact that he did that, and that's what he's been trying to do the whole time. But you don't, like, know. I do really like the movie. I would love if there was a continuation of it, but that's probably the point of it, is for there to not be. It's not like... I mean, it's really not that... It feeds everything to you very easily. Like, you can come up with everything I just said by watching it one time. Yeah, I mean, it does... I mean, it makes the movie great. They could definitely, like... There's definitely a lot of context, or not a lot of context. There's like, they basically open up, like, so much by the end of the movie, and then they just cut it off. They just don't let you know what goes on. But, like, the point at which it was cut off, like, it was definitely obviously intentional. Like, they'd never planned on making a second one, I'm sure. And I mean, there is a lesson, there is enough of a lesson within the movie, so that's, like, stated very clearly. It's more like, well, what the teacher says is, he's like, well, okay, in that bar that he meets him after he gets fired, he's like, well, let me talk to you for real now, since, like, you're not yelling at me, basically, and you're not my teacher right now, we're talking to humans, like, you know, do you ever think you go, like, too far? And he's like, no, man, I think that the words good job are some of the most detrimental words that a human can hear. That tells them that they did good enough and they need to stop pushing. It's like, do you think some of the greatest, he names, like, a bunch of great drummers, he's like, do you think that they ever heard good job and just, like, was like, oh yes, I live my life happily ever after now, I'm gonna stop pushing? He's like, no, you continue to push and push and push until you're greater and greater and greater, basically. So like that was like his whole ideology behind why he would like basically yell and be a psychopath. He takes good advice and then he just throws drums at people. The actual message that the movie has, though, is, like, really good, I'd say. I can see some people seeing it as, like, going too far, though, to be honest. Like, some people probably would consider it to be unhealthy to push yourself to a degree where you're, like, actually, like, well, in his case, physically bleeding from drumming. Ultimately, like, him pushing him and being, like, an asshole to him did make him, like, super great. It made him, like, people telling him that him being the person who he looked up to and him telling him that he sucked, just yelling at him, did make him great. You can't assume that he went on, yeah, like the student. You can't imagine, well, yeah, obviously, anyone who can't handle that would leave, you know what I mean? Like, if you go to a class and your teacher's doing that to you and you can't handle that, like, obviously, like, you're just, like, what is this guy doing? He's a psychopath, whatever. Like, you're obviously not gonna still be there. I mean, rationally. Well, he basically, from what I gathered from the movie, he basically was just, like, so upset that he could not impress this guy. And so he just kept going. And I mean, that's how some people are. That's how some people can be, you know? They'll do something even that's great, and they'll just keep going over and over and over again. And then other people telling them that they can't is motivation, like it's specifically in the movie, what they use. Thing is, not like... I feel like the message can't always be like... The message isn't always true because a lot of people, or I think like a good amount of people are like fine with just like being okay, not like being defensive. So it really depends on how you think about it, I guess. Yeah. I hate that stuff. I turn it off on every game that I've ever played. I think the only game I played with it on was The Last of Us Part 2 when like the PlayStation 5 just came out. Yeah, I would never... I remember it existed in Cold War, and it would literally physically stop you from shooting your gun sometimes when you're gonna die. It definitely does not work, like, in games that, like, are not... Like, in a game... Yeah. In a game where you need precise response, or, like, a competitive game, it is definitely terrible. The technology itself is really cool, especially if you play Astro's Playhouse or whatever it's called. Like, I don't know how that game won Game of the Year, but Astrobot, whatever. I don't know how that game won Game of the Year, but it did a really cool job of showing off the, no idea, but it did a really good job at showing you the haptic feedback. Basically. Basically, there's this thing called I'm not a shit. Wait, what am I what am I thinking of that has that? Thinking of some movie or something that say that. Yeah, I played like the demo like. Honestly, I like when I played It Takes Two, and at sometimes that was a platformer. It was pretty cool. I was very surprised that a game. Yeah. I hate myself.
You're a what? Take this.
Not yet. Wait, Silk Song DLC. What's it called? I'm very surprised that It Takes Two actually won Game of the Year. But I guess it makes sense considering the other games that came out in that year. Like, game was obviously great. Can't say it was like a life-changing game for me. Like, I know some people like to throw that around, like it's like a, or that it's like, oh yeah, it's like a life-changing game with the story and everything. It really was like not, but and the gameplay was good. All the stuff you could do in it was good. I didn't like, I've said this before, I didn't like you couldn't change the screen of which player was on what side. In person. And then what's it called? Like I just thought the game was really good. But I didn't think it was like one of the best games I've ever played. But I did think it was really good. Like, yes, but not like because of the game. If that makes sense. Like, the amount of patience I've gained from doing this shit is insane. But I wouldn't say that's like, you could do that. I could use any game to do that, kind of, you know what I mean? Yeah. Let me think. The Last of Us, like, kind of. I will say, like, the decision. Well, you know, like the original Last of Us, right? I don't know. I wouldn't say. Okay, well, like, it's okay if I say like, kind of what happens at the end of the game. Okay. So. Okay. Yeah. So like the fact that like Joel chose to save this girl over the entire human race was like. Keep in mind when The Last of Us came out, I was really young. And I didn't even really fully know the story until I was older. But like when I first like saw went through the whole journey, got to that part of the game, I was really like, bro, like I don't know if it made me think like the way that I don't know if it made me change the way that I think about life. But to me, it did make me definitely think like I would probably do the same thing that he did. Kind of. Like, I would probably also choose to save somebody who I love versus the entire world, depending on the circumstance, you know, like... I don't know, it's more like a it made you think, like, in kind of more of, like, a mental dilemma way. And I guess, like, The Last of Us 2 also does that, where it's, like... Well, there's a lot. Yeah, it was like, it was a chance, basically, right? But it was said to be like a good chance. But then, what's it called? Something else. I guess like, I wouldn't say it changes like my whole perspective, but like something else, I guess. Just like a mental dilemmas that kind of made me think for a while. Like The Last of Us Part 2, like obviously Joel gets killed by Abby, but Joel killed Abby's father and a bunch of people that mattered to Abby. And it's like, it's a whole mental dilemma of like, you know, like who are you actually like kind of rooting for type thing. Like both of them got wronged very badly. And it's more of like a story about like revenge is always like the best thing to do type thing. It's not, I would say it's not as deep as the last part. Like, the one thing that video games in general have taught me, I think, is just to, like... I think that, more than anything else in my life, has kind of taught me to, like, work towards things that I care about, like, even if I'm, like, in, like, the worst state possible. Like, if I'm at a point where I'm like, bro, this is, like, impossible, like, I can't really do anything. That's, like, the only thing that it's, like, pretty much, that thing pretty much applies to any video game. Like, if there's something you want, like, and you don't give up, like, it kind of can teach, like, perseverance. I think Souls just does it better than, like, any game I've played. The perseverance. I remember, I saw a video, there's, like, this 70-year-old, oh no, 60 or 70-year-old dude who played Dark Souls 1 for the first time, and he said that video games were stupid and they were a waste of time. His son got him to play Dark Souls 1. He played it and he was like, bro, this is like more than just a game. Like, this is like, this teaches you about life. Like, this teaches you about perseverance. Like, this puts you through like shit, and then you get through it. Like, he did like a whole analytical, I was gonna say analytical analysis. He did like a whole analysis over it, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think these games teach it better than most games, but obviously a whole bunch of games teach a whole bunch of different lessons. I would say games do a better job at teaching about aspects of life, depending on the game, as opposed to, like, your whole view on life. Very few things have ever changed my entire view on my whole life. Yeah. Yeah. Such crazy naming, by the way. Yeah, I gotta play those games at some point. They all sound great, to be honest. Something I will say about, like, specifically no-hitting these games, like, because I know it's, like, a joke, obviously, like, and that's not the reason why I do it, it's just, like, something I've noticed. Like, it's like a joke of, like, oh, you're torturing yourself, you're pushing yourself. Like, there's a lot of shit in life you have to do that you don't want to do. And there are plenty of times where I want to stop doing a run. Plenty. But I just don't. I just keep going. I feel like it kind of helps with that. There are genuinely times in life now where I've not wanted to do something where I've just, like, had more of an ability to do it. I wouldn't say... Yeah. The only times I've been, like, genuinely, like, kind of, like, mentally in pain over doing this is just when I, like, go through a whole run and I get hit on the last boss, which has only happened, like, a handful of times. So it's not, like, a problem. Like, besides that, even though, like, sometimes I'll sound, like, annoyed and stuff, I'm not, like, I'm having fun doing it. I mean, you also only hear what I say. Like, most of the time when I'm doing it, I don't say anything. Like, you obviously you're only gonna hear the thing, like, when I am upset about it because I'm saying something about it. I did about Bloodborne after. I don't know if you were there, though. Yeah. During doing it, like, in the middle of doing it, I actually, like, was at a point where I actually hated this game. But after doing it and getting the run and, like, learning this game more, I actually like it a lot more. But... you gonna say Stockholm? Well, it's more like... how do I, like... like, you ever hate something so much, or, like, or annoyed by something so much that you're like, bro, I just have to do this until, like, you basically are, like, you're basically getting good out of it out of hate, basically. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, I did that with Bloodborne, and I did that with, the Dark Souls 1 boss, Ornstein and Smo. Yeah, I mean, it's just different, like, definitions of, like, what you consider to be fun. Like, yeah, if I ever genuinely if I genuinely ever dislike a game, I get off the game. I mean, Fortnite is probably the closest I've come to, like, playing it while actively hating it all the time. No, because even Overwatch, it would be like, I didn't like it, but I would have those games that were fun, right? Like, but, like, Fortnite, there was literally a point where I was playing it for, like, months, where I genuinely hated the game. But I just didn't stop. Like, if I ever was getting, like, that genuinely upset at Bloodborne, I would get off. I mean, I did get off multiple times. Like, I'm not playing Elden Ring right now because it's not, like, super enjoyable to me just because I'm just bored of it. Like, I feel like I have more of the ability now than I used to, like, actually get off something if I'm not, like, enjoying it. It used to be a huge problem, especially when I play, like, COD. So I would just be like, I don't know what else there is to, like, play or whatever at the time. No, it's, like, not really like that. Like, Sekiro, for example, is, like, a good example. Like, I liked Sekiro, but recently it's been annoying me so much, so I just haven't been playing it. Like, I mean, sometimes when I'm genuinely annoyed, I'll push through if it's, like, close, if I'm, like, close to achieving what I'm trying to achieve. Like, when I was doing Liza P, and I was doing that one, like, DLC boss trying to no-hit it for, like, forever. That was annoying the hell out of me, but I was like, it's just one boss, I could do it, and I did, so. As of the point I'm at with Bloodborne now, I'm not really getting upset at it too much. Like, every now and then something really dumb will happen, and it's like, that's unfortunate, and it like kind of will annoy me, especially if it's unexpected. But I'd say I'm like generally at a point now where I'm just like chilling and playing the game, like even no hitting it. I am also at a point now though where it doesn't really feel like a challenge unless I'm doing these games. That's the only reason I played them, because it didn't count. Is Rising Mergo Rising hard, or is it just like how long is like the game generally, would you say? Are you able to swap the difficulty? Like, that's not very long at all. Would you are you able to swap the difficulty in the middle of the game? I guess we'll see. What's it called though? I would want to play it on like the hardest difficulty probably. But if that's like actually too ridiculous, then I would turn it down. So that's why I'm asking. That's true. I can't really think of one. I mean, I guess like Terraria. Wait, can you change it from world settings? Okay. I was like, I don't think you can change the world difficulty in the setting. I mean, I guess, well, it makes sense, because I guess, like, what, I guess it would kind of change, it would change stuff about the generation, probably, yeah. There's probably stuff in, like, when stuff is preset and predetermined, I'm sure that there's, like, I'm sure it's, like, too complicated, otherwise they would, like, let it. Let's say, like, I guess it depends on, like, well, okay, so one of the biggest things about expert mode and master mode, though, is you get, like, better loot. And so the chest generation, I think it counts as chest generation too, because I don't know that as a fact, but something I did notice recently, when I did the expert playthrough with Ella, was I could not find Hermit Boots for the life of me. I couldn't find Magic Mirror for the life of me. Like, it felt like I literally couldn't find anything useful. And then we played Master Mode, and I was able to find all this stuff like super quickly. Like, it felt like the loot and all of the chests in general were better. Which obviously could just be like luck, but you know, it is kind of weird. And I feel like I have had that before. I don't know for a fact that it changes that, but it would be a reason as to why they wouldn't let you change the difficulty if that's like why, or if that's like something that was this. Yeah, when I looked it up, it said that it didn't affect chest loot either. They gotta have some reason, other than just being lazy sometimes. Yeah. Besides, if you're making a run that difficulty anyway, I assume you're meaning to do that. Like, ever? Did you not play before the Expert came out? Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, once you play it, you can't ever go back. Like... I haven't played Calamity on any, like, world difficulty lower than Master, but I've played normal a lot of it, like, no Revengeance or anything. Yeah. I guess for me, it was more like, I didn't like having extra buttons to worry about, and then it was also, I just liked fighting the bosses as, like, they were with just the addition of all the Calamity stuff. And then, what's it called? They gotta do, what's it called? They gotta do, like... Oh, I did do Master of Vengeance for a solo playthrough one time. I don't think I've ever done Calamity on Expert or below. For, like, no, I've only done Master with, like, all the difficulties. Tyler and I were doing Master Infernum. I don't know if that mattered, or Expert Infernum. Whatever the highest one you could do was, I guess. Now that I think about it, I think you can only do Expert Infernum. Yeah, I remember when I did it, I think it was only... Yeah. Infernum's, like, harder than Master Meds. I wonder if Terraria will ever fully make Calamity like the base game or not. Like I feel like what base Terraria is missing is that like progression that Calamity has. And well, okay, this is what I'll say. There's like no for like your specific class sets, there's like nothing for each class specifically in like pre-hard mode. Yeah. Which I think is like not ideal. Oh yeah, I don't think that it was ever made for people specifically to just hard lock one class. But I mean, I don't know about you, but at least on my first playthroughs of Terraria, like literally, when normal mode was the only mode, there was no like expert. I and pretty much everyone that knew pretty much used whatever weapon they thought was cool. They didn't really worry about a class or anything. Honestly, just don't like melee in general. Like, for a very long time, it was my favorite, like, class to do when I started doing classes. And then when they did the rework, I replayed it, and that was, like, really cool. But I just played melee in the world that me and Ella did. And man, it was still like, it's just hard to do damage and live. Like, at least playing with other people, where the bosses are scaled. Like, it just felt very impossible to like, to do like a good amount of damage to the boss while living. Oh yeah, like in Master Mode, like I remember I did a solo Master Mode world, and I was like, it literally wasn't until late hard mode where where all your like your melee weapons have projectiles basically, where it was like I could actually do something like. But before that, it literally. Yeah. I feel like Terraria is just one of the best. Oh yeah, something else I guess I have a problem with is like, I don't know if this will ever like, I don't know if this will ever be like necessarily a fixable problem, but like the fact that you get all this cool stuff after Moonlord, but like there's not really anything to do with it because the game is over. Yeah. I was gonna say there's no like boss rush or anything. Yeah. Well, I think if Calamity became base Terraria, like I think the game would be more popular than it already is. Yeah. I'd say like, well, not like making that the reality, but like just like as of how it currently is, if they were just like, all right, partnership, or at least make like mods on console. I know that's always like a huge problem because you need to be able to download stuff, and then PlayStation or Xbox doesn't let you download stuff from other sources. And does it? Yeah.
I guess, like, Isaiah, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Does GTA 5 have, like, cheats on PlayStation? Is it? Uh-oh.
Just like past, I don't know. I know you have work and stuff. Do you plan on working on the Elden Ring run at all? It is the biggest thing. Yeah, that's fair. That's why, like, in the middle of doing all this stuff, I've been playing, like, Terraria and stuff with Ella. Like, well, Terraria is, like, you know, it's not like, I've played it for so many years that it's not really, like, that. And then playing, like, It Takes Two and stuff. I mean, even, And even at the point where I'm at, where it's like, because what am I even doing in these Souls games? I'm playing through the entire game without getting hit one time. That's like, you know, that's a level that's kind of hard to match from just playing a game though. I don't even know what that is. Yeah, bullet hell is all you have to say, to be honest. The reason why Terraria hasn't been no-hit outside of like a set seed. The fact that someone's done it in a set seed is already crazy. Yeah, and I mean, just enemies going through walls randomly. I'm gonna need to set up another. is a fight. I mean, I didn't get hit, but I had to fight Rom, a boss that has, normally you kill 10 spiders and then you can like cheese it. Well, not like cheese. There's like a script you can do to like do second phase. I messed it up, in which 20 spiders spawned. So I just spent, and Rom attacks you with like a bunch of magic projectiles. So I kind of just had to run around for a little bit, and oh, I got it. I didn't get hit. You basically just have to run and hope none of the spiders hit you, get some damage off. And then hope she doesn't just do an instant AoE explosion attack. That wasn't great, but I mean, goals to not get hit. Not for it to not be pretty. I remember doing a that was like me normally, because I was doing like a normal or like a no shell playthrough. I remember my playthrough is literally just learn to parry. Also, it's very odd because it's like it's on release, like hold it and then release. You basically have to sit there and just hold it. Which I think that was a bad decision by them. I think it should just carry. But I mean whatever. It doesn't matter. I have 2 more bosses. Last one's scary, but as long as I'm calm, should be fine. That's the hard part, though. The hard part of all knowing running is remaining calm, not getting nervous. Oh, oh man, if you'll see when you do a no-hit run, you'll shake a little, like not a lot, enough where, well, what it does for me, the biggest thing is when I get nervous for no reason, by the way, because I've no-hit this game twice. Whether I get this run literally doesn't matter, and it's like. How do I explain? Like, it makes your reaction time slower. Good. Yeah. Just like it's so weird sometimes. It's like I literally know what to do. I know exactly what I have to do. I know what I gotta do. I've done this time and time and time again. It's just when you're in the moment, it's different. It's just weird. Alright, I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Oh. I had to use like extra beast pellets on this, so I'm gonna have less on a boss, which is it's a fight where whether you're doing it with buffs or doing it without buffs functions the exact same. It's just how long it is. Even if I do get hit, it doesn't even matter. Just simply do it again. Get back to the same place, do it all over.
Do you hear?
Okay, I'm doing the poison cheese now for this boss, so.
Gotta sit here and wait for it to die.
I am basically guaranteed for this boss to die. I think. And then that one more tiny little running section, and then the last one.
That's gonna be something.
Definitely gonna have to take like another break before I fight her. Just have to just chill. last boss is dead. Just the last boss. Wait, who left? I'll stay here, but I can't stay on the whole night. I'll be here for now. Give them, I'll give the mod. If anything, I'll call. He'll be fine. Alright, well, I'm at the final boss. I even know. Gotta calm down, doesn't even matter. Probably gonna take my headphones off. Yes, it's gotta give me a second. Okay. I'm gonna keep my headphones off for this. Almost just did that to me. And that. Let's fucking go! I got it. Oh my god, bro. And she tried to fucking cheese me, bro. She tried to be an asshole. When you go like behind her or to her side, well, I don't know behind, but when you go like to her side, kind of behind her, she's supposed to always sidestep. She did this. She did an attack that I had to dodge like last second. Oh my god! And then she has this move called Lawnmower where there's like a bunch of blades. And it's like a spam. She could do that instantly sometimes. She also did that, but I dodged it. Fuck. But the damage was so low too. Oh my god, bro. Alright, blood level 4 done. I guess, somehow.
Good hand you from the...
Oh. Bro, I'm like grinding. This is literally only like I did practice and I took a break from playing the game for a while. This is only like my 5th attempt at blood level 4. Something like that. It's not a lot. Like that made it out at the beginning.